live.
All righty, kids, kicking it off here on a Monday on the Jerry Doyle Show. JD here, good to have you on board. Your 6'3" ATM of información. Loaded up, ready to be accessed. The PIN 800-876-4123 on the program where intellectual anarchy is encouraged and nurtured for now. Jesse producing, Don producing, working the boards, calls, emails at the website. And the poll question up there for you today. When you die, your debts usually die with you. Now, death debt collectors are aggressively going after the deceased spouses, parents, friends, and neighbors to collect the money, saying it's a moral obligation. What do you say to this? 4%, it is a moral obligation, and it should be paid. 71% say the law is the law. Leave morality aside. And 25% say, so, you can take it with you. Your answer's there at the website, jerrydoyle.com, or here at 800-876-4123 on the program where we like our flying a little turbulent, our women a little crazy, and our politics a little messy. Now, Jesse, week 2 now? No smoking?
No smoking.
You've overcome that critical period. Is everyone in the family still alive?
Yeah, we're all alive and kicking.
The dog, everything?
We don't have a dog.
Speaking of kicking, the dog? Oh, you don't? I thought you had a dog.
No. We have a baby. There's no room for a dog.
I got it. All right, fine. So week 2, and then you've overcome the hump, and you feel like you're doing better, and you're not losing your mind or anything anymore? Really? Okay. Did you get that $100 that I sent you for the bet that we had that you wouldn't make it? No?
And I'm not holding my breath.
That's because I didn't send it.
Shocker.
No, the check's is at the mail. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. And, some other lies that have been told. No, it's definitely... It's a
metaphorical $100, and I spent it at the Bank of Love, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. Wow. You found, obviously, a little Zen chi-centered place with yourself there. What have you replaced smoking with? Have you taken up any hobbies? Have you
lots of food, lots of eating, lots of drinking soda?
I thought you were trying to get rid of your little beer belly there.
Yeah, that'll go away. I'm just exercising, man. Leave me alone. Jeez.
Wow. It's amazing, Don. You sure? Is he I can't see him because he's on the other side of the glass. We don't have a camera in there. Has he painted himself in zebra stripes or something? I can't tell what he's done to compensate.
I'm impressed. I wave my cigarette at him as I'm going out for the smoke break, but he's
nice.
holding on.
What do you do on the smoke break now? Which is
you don't want to know.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Moving right along here then to things that are in the news. Weird weekend in the news. Donald Trump is all over the place now. He's kind of like dog crap. It's that stuff that you get on the bottom of your shoe and you really don't want to touch it, but you want to get rid of it, so you just slide it along the curb or some way to try and get that goo off your shoe. But Trump now is trumping himself, T-Rump as we call him here on the program, because he wants to head up this debate on December 27th. And apparently the yays and nays are piping in already. John Huntsman was the first to say nay. I believe his comments were along the lines of, no, the family and I are going to pop up some popcorn and we're going to sit around and watch the festivities take place. Ron Paul's people said no, they're not going to go. And I guess Donald Trump didn't like the response from Ron Paul's people. Didn't have anything to say about John Huntsman saying he was just going to pop some popcorn and not show up at the event. But with regard to Ron Paul's people, Donald Trump apparently doesn't like being dissed by anyone of no consequence. But Huntsman is a guy of no consequence with 2 points I think he's got right now, 2% in the Iowa poll. And he had nothing to say about him. What's Ron's number now in the Iowa debate? He's number 2 now.
18.
It's like 18% in the Iowa poll. So Donald Trump, being the classy ass that he is, he said, as I said in the past, I'll reiterate again, Ron Paul has a 0 chance of winning either the nomination or the presidency. And he said my poll numbers were substantially higher than any of his poll numbers at any time. Few people take Ron Paul seriously, and many of his views and presentation make him a clown-like candidate. I'm glad he and John Huntsman, who has inconsequential poll numbers or a chance of winning, will not be attending the debate and wasting the time of the viewers who are trying very hard to make a very important decision. Really? Well, why are you involved in the process, Donald? He's trying to take something very seriously. Although, Jesse, you seem to think that Donald Trump is the epitome of where we are at in this
Yeah, who
reality
better to
show
lead the
known as
parade of
politics.
ass clowns than the ultimate ass clown himself, Donald Trump? How appropriate.
There is something to be said for that. I mean, it's really it's not so much the whole Donald Trump thing that bugs me. It's just that how we've elevated reality and nothing into reality and something. Basically, you're taking nothing, which is what reality is as far as television goes today, and people of absolutely no talent or consequence that basically rise to the top of our collective consciousness simply because they're on TV. I mean, you look at American Idol, and I hope you live long and prosper if you manage to waste your time with that one, or the X Factor, or whatever. Now it's like they got shows now where the guests sit with their back to the people, so you can't see them. Don't want to judge them on their physical appearance, so we're going to sit with our backs to them so we can just judge them on their talent. But it's like it's all just reality all the time. And I guess Donald Trump, good for him in a certain way that he's successful at what he does with his reality show. You're Fired. What's that called? The Apprentice, right. But really more indicative of what we as a society come to look at, the representation of what we think matters and who we think is important and what they say is of any consequence whatsoever. I mean, as far as Newt Gingrich going to the Trump debate, of course, he's going to show up. Newt Gingrich just show up at the opening of an envelope, especially if there's a check attached to it. It's Newt Gingrich is nothing and everything. He's a historian, a professor, a futurist, a globalist, an internationalist, a supposed constitutionalist, and he's not. But it's really based upon the star factor. Because Newt Gingrich has no campaign infrastructure whatsoever. None. So how does he get to the top of the pile? Same thing as some talent-free guitar player or singer goes on one of these shows, and simply because they're on TV, that somehow they've got something that we think we should be watching. Now think of the beauty, though, of promoting reality. And it's really a reflection of the narcissism that we face or that we're dealing with in the country today. I mean, if you look at American Idol and you say, okay, it's a meaningless, pointless, talent-free show with retread judges that pass judgment on people who have minimal talent, if any. But think of the beauty of the business model. You go around the country and you have tens of thousands of people that you convince could be the next American Idol. They audition them, they tape them, they don't tell them whether they've made the final edit or not. So not only do they watch, their family watches, their friends watch, everybody in their social network watches, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook, and you end up from one with thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who tune into something because they might have some connection to someone who might marginally have some talent that might be on that show. I mean, it's a brilliant business model to promote nothingness. And out of the nothingness of the tens of thousands of people that audition, you get maybe 5 to 10 that might have some degree of talent. And out of that, maybe one or two have any sustainability over any period of time. You would have to think that you'd maybe want to narrow it down to people who actually have a chance at being American Idol or the next American Idol or the winner of the X Factor or whatever. But this is the same thing we have in politics today. What's the difference between American Idol, the X Factor, and presidential politics today? Is there any difference? And now the fact that you throw Donald Trump into the mix, you've got the Simon Cowell, or the Simon Scowl, we'll call him, or you've got the whoever judging. It's just yet one more face that brings more people to put their eyeballs on the screen to watch this reality show known as Politics in America. And you're basically taking the same, for the most part, talent-free competitors that are getting up there, and each and every week they have an opportunity to overcome some faux pas from the previous week, or some bill they voted on, or some decision they made, or some piece of legislation that they introduced, or some statement that they made. And each and every week is an opportunity for redemption. And then they can rate them, And then you can take a look at who's at the top of the leaderboard on Dancing with the Stars or The X Factor or American Idol. Oh, he had a good week. Oh, he had a bad week, but he's making a comeback. He's at the bottom of the pile. These two, the next not going on. See this, next, this. Oh! And then someone gets voted off Presidential Island. And then it's time to move on to who the next surviving four are of the survivor of programs known as presidential politics. Now, there's a place for all of this, I guess, in vetting the candidates. But I think Jesse's right. What better guy to have than this carny known as Donald Trump to be at the pinnacle of taking nothing and turning it into something. And not only that, but being able to sustain it over this extended period of time. We've got so much focus now on something that's 11 months away. 11 months away. And it's being micromanaged. And we're watching the rehearsals. And we're looking at who's wearing what designer outfit and what color tie and where they stand on the stage. And are they on the left or are they on the right? Are they in the middle? The lighting, the makeup, the hair, the micromanaging of all the minutia. Instead of just taking a look at the person who has the best ideas. And over time, consistency, to me, is what's important and what ultimately is going to win out. But you see, when you're in a reality show, anything goes. When you can take a look at people that have been on 9 different sides of the same argument, but yet are still in the debate, here's the question I have for you. What is Barack Obama and what is his administration all about? If you were going to categorize him and his administration, are they capitalist? Are they constitutionalist? Are they federalist? Are they communist? Are they socialist? Whatever they are, and I'm going to go with socialists. How do you beat a consistent socialist? And consistency is the thing that you can count on with Obama. You can bet that he is going to work day in and day out to consistently undermine the Constitution, to skirt the rule of law, to not engage with Congress as the law dictates he does, in an effort to overwhelm the system and to lay the body politic to render itself helpless to socialism, which is 60s radical collectivist redistributionist ideology. If anything, Barack Obama has been, whether it's his policies, the people he's associated with, the things that he's written, the intentions that he has with regard to the legislation that he's passed, endorsed, or wants to further embrace, he is a consistent socialist. And how do you beat a consistent socialist? You beat a consistent socialist with a consistent constitutionalist. Now, when you look at consistency, isn't that what's lacking most in the Republican presidential field today? Because in a reality show where you can change your outfits, where you can change whether you're going to sit or stand on the stage, you can change the pace of the song, you can change a lot of things to make it look like you're something other than what you were, and you can make yourself look to be something other than what you really are. But if anything's going to beat a constant socialist, a consistent socialist, a committed socialist, it has to be someone who is constant and committed and someone who is consistent in principles. And someone who's a consistent constitutionalist can beat a consistent socialist every time.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
Iowa poll, Newt Gingrich. Speaking of consistently inconsistent, 25%. Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, 18 and 16, respectively. Michelle Bachmann, Herman. Oh, never mind Herman. He's gone. Rick Perry, Santorum, 6%. Huntsman at 2%. And did you see who CNN former head is that's teaming up with Newsmax for this Ion debate? Do you know who this guy, Eason Jordan, is and what his past is? Wow, now they're selling him as a journalist. A little bit different of a background for that guy, too. Got a lot to get to on the program today. Jerry Doyle, stick with me.
The Jerry Doyle Show.